One take. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for the half hour of kilowatt power.
Come on, mate. That was a bit cheesy.
As cheesy might, mate. Come on, Vegemite stuffed up with that one, didn't they? I've got no idea what that means. A cheesy mite scroll is a savoury Australian baked food commonly found at Baker's Delight and Brumbies. Huh.
Yeah, okay. You have a point there.
2 hams, 1 show, and a collection of insulting jokes your mother wouldn't approve of.
Oh, no, bro. Yeah, but I said we can't use those.
Why not?
Because we'll offend all of the blokes on QRZ and also the 80-metre net rag chewers.
Okay, shall we get on with the show? Should we get on with the show then, Guff?
Yes, we should. Without further ado, please welcome your hosts, Radio Runner and Ham Radio DX.
Stop making that noise. Stop making that noise.
Stop making that noise. That's actually a skill. That Chris is not
What
really
is?
here. That's just a skill.
Yeah.
You're not really here. Shh. Don't. Your eyes are moving. What's happening, everybody? This is the half hour of Kilowatt Power with your favourite friends from Down Under and New Zealand. You're Down Under. ZL4RA and
Hello.
Church. What's happening?
Oh, buddy. Just feeling old today. Feeling old, looking old. Watching that video, it's no fun. It's terrible.
I don't
It's
know,
so bad.
you look sprightly at the moment.
We should get some handsome people to do it, you know? Reshoot that thing.
What are you trying to say?
Someone that knows what they're doing.
Oh, I thought the editing was on point.
Oh, was it? Oh, good, fantastic. I'm glad someone liked it.
Well, Aussie Beardsman says, where is all the heavy hitters? Agreed. We've got...
Good question.
Can you believe that there is 10 people currently watching this rubbish? It's just amazing. And so last week we had the first ever episode of the half hour of Kilowatt Power, and we have had about 889 views on that video. That is absolutely amazing that people watch that rubbish. And we thought, well, let's continue it again and see if we can break that this week. So, yep, it's going to be good.
What number are we looking for? 800 and something plus 1?
890. That would be one more.
Let's shoot for 900. I think that's fair.
900?
Get all your mums to watch it. I'll love it.
Yeah. Yep.
Mum?
Ordered on...
Bloody mum.
Mum, can I watch this show?
It's probably,
Hey.
yeah, better than the Oscars, that's for sure. Oh,
hang on.
Crikey.
Do you reckon we can do this? Do you reckon? No, I was trying to slap you.
Hayden, your bloody hands on the floor over here, mate. What are you doing? No, I don't think we can do it.
Dear. I don't know if we can. Can we talk about that? We probably shouldn't talk about the Oscars, should we?
No, probably not.
No. Or we'd win a good Oscar for acting, I think. Mm-hmm. G'day, Martin, PE9TIG. Hello to you in the chat. We've also got, for the first time, Delta X-Ray 444. First time here on live, but watch your videos. Thank you very much. The Big Dust T. He is saying ka-chunk the like button because he's going to be going to bed in the next 20 minutes because that's what he did last week, didn't he?
I think so.
He goes to bed very early.
It's all good.
Dusty. But we need to kick off the show, and 45 Auto is going to kick it off with the question. Mike, K8MRD Radio Stuff, claims the title of world's okayest guitar player. Where does Chris place himself in comparison? So what's that all about?
It's none of the better pros judge themselves, my friends. You have to be judged by others. You know, that's how it's done. It would be arrogant of me to say that Mike's playing was subpar. That would be arrogant, so I won't say that. So yeah, that's up to you.
What we are actually talking about is you did a really cool video in the week, which is linked below, and that is you were sending some Morse code on guitar. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I really wanted to I really wanted to work a pile up, man. I was so stoked when I had the idea of doing that. I was like, man, I want to work a pile up. I want to get on 40 meters, and I always want to. It's like it's just going to freak people out. They're going to be tooling around on SSB, and then they're going to be like,
and then hear this.
What? You know, what?
Now
it's going to be super weird.
Is that technically against regulations because you can't play music over the air?
So I went and I talked to a lawyer that's also a ham, and he said it was all good. I think there are different regulations for different countries, but there's also like international rules as well. So yeah, you can't broadcast. I'm not an expert. I'm just an idiot. But there are. I was led to believe that there are. So you can't broadcast, like the ham license doesn't let you broadcast stuff, right? So it's not about, you can't just. You can't just. It's like that's like one-way communication is no good. So it's got to be a conversation. And also there's the whole copyright thing about like broadcasting other people's music. But yeah, in terms of what I was doing, I was never going to broadcast the beat. I figured that would, like, that's kind of the gray area, right? It's like, oh, now there's a beat with your Morse code. Starting to sound quite musical.
Copyright.
But it's essentially just using a different thing to generate your, to generate Morse code, which is totally fine. But so he was like, they were fine with it. He was fine with it rather, like from a legal standpoint. But then I talked to another ham, and he was just like, he's not a lawyer, but he was just like, man, that's so bad. Don't do that. And so I thought that's fine. So we just use Zoom. So no guitar based DX pilot for me. But yeah, I got Adam on Zoom, and we had a play around. It was awesome. That take that I made the video out of, that was the first take. That was just a single take. We just went through it. It was fine. It just kind of devolved from there and got worse and worse. We did it 3 times. That was the first take, and it just was, ended up being super easy to edit because it was just the start of the file. Bing bang bosh.
You know what would make a really good video with that is if you got Joe Walsh from the Eagles on the other end, because he's also a ham radio operator, and you could play guitar on Morse code.
Yeah, you're not the only person. Challenge. You're not the only person that suggested that. I didn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think that's the third. I think that's the third time.
Okay.
Also, someone posted it on the Summits on the Air Reflector, and people, at least one person posted a video of them playing, putting out CQ and their call sign on the Summits on the Air Reflector, the forum. Pretty fun. But
so
again,
is that
it's
your
just
next
like
video,
having a laugh.
Going to a soda summit with your guitar and just.
Well, then I'd have to broadcast on the HF bands, bro. So it wouldn't be a legit act. Well, because then I have to do it for shiz, right? I have to do it for real.
It'd have to be for real. What do you mean?
Yeah,
it wasn't
for real. No, it was movie magic. It was all shot in Hollywood. But yeah, then I'd have to be broadcasting on the HF bands.
Wait.
Oh no! Oh gosh.
Wait a minute. This is Dusty says guitar is killing ham radio.
Well, that's actually that's potentially a nice segment, isn't it, Hayden? A segment? Segue is the word I was looking for.
Segue. Well, I can't play guitar, so I can't produce a segment like that.
All right. Maybe next year.
Maybe.
It's actually quite hard to play Morse code musically-ish on a guitar.
Well, you must be ultra talented because I can't play guitar and I also can't learn Morse code. So, although I do have a book.
True.
Although I do have a book. I do have a book, and it's Learn Morse code. I need to do a review on this, but I will do a quick shout out to it. This one's got QR codes in it.
Bro, show me the front page again, please. Drag it up for me. Up. That's just gobbledygook, bro. What is
No idea. That's why you read the book.
That's
why you read the book.
That's question.
I've got other books that I need to read, like this one. Look at this handsome man.
Oh,
you know who that?
Tricky Dicky.
He wading through some water with Peter
Tricky
Parker
Dicky.
and a radio. No, it's not tricky. No, it's not tricky. It's VK3YE.
Oh, what was on the top? What did I see the top of? Oh, forward by. It's all I was looking at. I was just looking at the deck. I just saw deck, and I stared at it.
You went straight to it.
I thought my first thought was, oh, that's Peter's book, and then I saw the deck, and I thought, oh, no, I must be wrong. I should have stuck with my instincts.
Yep, exactly. 10 minutes into the show, disclaimer, we do have music, we do have dancing. You know the rules. You know what needs to happen for that. Andrew says, looks like exciting reading. The Morse code book, we'll see how we go. But
It's
and yeah,
it's a
Don.
real nail biter, that one.
And yeah, Don, Peter's book is actually that book is surprisingly in JCar stores. You got JCar over in
No
New Zealand,
way.
don't you? Yeah,
Yeah, I would
that's in
never buy anything from JCar, but we do have.
yeah, it's in
Gosh.
JCar stores. So,
Okay.
which is like the biggest electronics chain in Australia and New Zealand. So
It's the only one we've got. We suck. We suck real
well,
bad.
yeah. I mean, we got consumer electronics, but we don't have electronics like
Yeah,
hardcore
right.
stuff.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. So awesome video that you did during the week. So yeah, check out the link below after the stream, and leave a comment, leave a like for Chris, because that'd be great. Now the other thing that we were going to discuss was the ham radio numbers worldwide. The video that I did during the week, which I got a lot of hate, which happens quite a lot, because people are like, well, you didn't include this country, you didn't include that country. And I'm like, well,
no.
I would have if there was some data for the countries, but there are none. So I know I got some advice from some people saying, oh, but this country's got this many people, this country's got that many people, but I couldn't find any data except for in the year 2000. The year 2000 was the last year the IARU actually did a proper breakdown of operators per country. So everything else is data from various organizations, from regulators like the ACMA in Australia. Who's the regulator in New Zealand?
NZART or RSM, Radio Spectrum Management. I think it is.
New Zealand's was interesting because New Zealand didn't move. I think it was 5,900 in 2000, and it was 6,000 because we discussed this last week, and then we looked it up after the show. So it hasn't really moved that much. Someone sent me a message and said that Brazil's got like 30,000, but again, I couldn't verify that or find that anywhere.
Yeah.
There was some obvious mistakes, like Thailand in one article had 400,000 hams, and it's nowhere near that many hams.
Yeah.
So pretty much the numbers that you see on the screen at the moment are pretty much as accurate as I could get for the data that we had for those particular countries. But yeah, interesting.
I looked at the data. I went and had a look at Thailand as well. I think it was Thailand. And I was looking at there was a couple of articles, and one of them said something like there are 400,000 operators in Thailand, and then it broke them down into the 3 license categories, and the total of their breakdown was like 120,000. So whatever.
Yeah.
But that's just really interesting. Like Japan Japan has just collapsed. The US, Canada, and the UK have increased reasonably significantly, but like all of Europe has collapsed except for the UK. Like Spain's
and China is on the way up too. So I think they do now hold the 3rd highest amount of hams, because what are we up? There it is. There it's just paused. 187,000 or something around that anyway. So interesting. I wonder what you guys in the comments actually thought, because we had a bit of a conversation on Discord about this. It was rather interesting. Chris says that he was amazed at the Japanese numbers. Yeah, to fall from what did they start off with? 1.2 million, and in 20. Well, let's go in 1 decade. So 1 decade they'd halved that, and they were equal with the US. And then in another decade or so, they'd halve it again.
It's mad,
and Plasma Storm, Japan's OEM generation passing around the younger gen is interested in ham radio. Yeah, it's a very technological country, Japan, isn't it? Yeah. So I can understand the younger generation not getting as interested in ham radio. Yeah,
I was just surprised that all of Europe had collapsed. Because at the start it's 2.4 mil, and then 2 decades through it's 1.7 mil. Obviously, this doesn't talk about active versus hams that are just have their license, which is a huge number of people. Tons of people have their license and don't do anything with it. They have it just as something that's nice to have, which is totally fine. That's probably the vast majority of peeps. Very few people are active, and of those, the majority will be on VHF, right? UHF, VHF. So the HF portion is tiny. and then we're playing on YouTube. So of that tiny portion, like what tiny portion is on YouTube? It's an older crew, that have their tickets. So we're in like a niche of a niche of a niche of a niche, really.
Well, someone put here, like they've said, there's no way there's 1.7 million hams in the world, and I agree with that. I think that there's more than 1.7 million hams in the world, because obviously I haven't represented all the countries in this graph. There was some extra data which was off to the side, which was some other countries that were below 13,000. So New Zealand and other countries that were lower than that. It was interesting. Martin makes a very good comment here. We're only with 17 million Dutch, so 14,000 hams. There was a lot of countries that were all around about that same amount. So Australia, we've got 25 million people, and we've only got 13,000 hams. So yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting to do that, and to visualize it in this graph. I used a program to generate this. I thought it was rather cool.
Yeah, I really like that, man. I like that video. It's just interesting data.
The other one that I did do, which is also interesting, which this is accurate data because the FCC provide this data out. This is the United States amateur radio licenses by year from the year 1997. You can see advanced and novice, as they were phased out, they're starting to decline, and obviously technician, general, and extra on the way up. Amazing that by the end of this video, how many novice and advanced licenses still exist out there. I think Don left a comment on the video saying that his license was grandfathered at one point as well. And interesting over the last sort of 5 to 6 years, how much those lines start to move up. Like, look at that extra line. That's moving rather fast. So yeah, the US are doing something which I think a lot of us need to learn from. I mean, I think a lot of it's to do with the prepper. There's a lot of preppers over
100%
over in the US,
Canada, UK, US.
Yeah, which we don't really have over here. We do have some people, but yeah, it's not really that big. But yeah, I mean, we got people that travel outback, and they'll travel, up and down New Zealand, I guess, as well. So I think we need to sort of look at targeting those kind of people and get them interested. So
yeah, I think it's exploded in the US around people that are into knives and guns as well. Like it's a really nice tie-in to people that are into camping, the outdoors, and firearms. Having the ability, and those people, they're never going to go past their technician, right? Because that's they don't need to be on HF.
No, so they just need the VHF, UHF, yeah.
And then big population centers as well. It's just VHF city.
Yeah. Old on a BMX says, did you do the breakdown of percent of population? No, I didn't, but I could do that because that is a very good idea. And I did see someone comment about that earlier on in the week of hams versus population. So I think Japan was still, I'm pretty sure that they were still ahead with that because they got a smaller population than the United States. So I'm pretty sure it's like, one in every so many 100 people are hams or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah, I might do that. That would be an interesting one. And Texas prison stories. All the tech class guys in the USA spend their time on HF on 27.358 instead of 10 meters. Yeah, well, that gets it. And okay, so it was you that suggested that. Thanks. So that's that is a that does make it looking at stuff per capita is always pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, especially like in New Zealand, we've got a population of 5 mil. We've got 6,000 hams. Man, 20% of them might be active. 10% maybe. Maybe. And then of those, the ones that are active on HF, maybe it's 10% again. Who knows? It's very, it's certainly small. What's the population in New Zealand? So I've just looked this up. So you've got 5 million in 2020. In Australia, population is 25 million, almost 26 million in 2020. So we've got 5 times the population of New Zealand, but we've only got just over double the hams license.
Yeah. So we got
which is like And I think that because to get your ham license in New Zealand, you don't need to. What's the payment for exam? You don't pay per year or anything like that, do you?
No, mate, you get it. We've got an exam. It's not, I mean, well, it's not for me to say it's hard or it's easy or anything, but there's a fairly big whack of stuff you need to revise and study to do it. But you get it, you pay a fee. It's very small. And then, there's no annual fee. If you want to, you can belong to the NZART, which is the national body, and that's cheap as chips. It's like $100 a year. And that just means that you're part of the national body and you get a copy of break-in, and I think it's quarterly. If you're a ZL, should totally join NZART. There's nobody else out there betting for hams. It's just them. Even if you have problems with them, who cares? Just give them the money. But that's it, man. There's no ongoing fee to have your license at all.
Yeah, because you're a class license, which is what they're proposing in Australia to change to.
Right.
Because Australia, to get our license here is ridiculously expensive. But I think...
Oh, really?
It looks like the ACMA, who are our regulator, are going down the road of turning it into a class license with some... there has been some concerns about it because of protection for interference and some other logistical things as well. But I think if they work it all out, it might be able to work out, and we'll see how it goes. But taking, I think, away that cost factor is probably one of the things that will improve things. The exam cost probably won't change, but at least
what does it cost, man? How much is it?
So if you're a new license and you're going straight for a exam, you need to do a theory portion, you need to do a regulations portion, and I believe that they are $99 each. I'd have to look it up.
So you got $200 for your ticket.
Yeah, and then you need to pay for your ACMA license. You need to pay for a call sign recommendation as well. So there's all these ridiculous fees. That you
so you're paying a year, mate? You're paying a year, like an annual fee?
So yearly's not that bad, actually. It's about $52 at the moment per year to keep your license. Okay. When you compare, I paid for my driver's license the other day, and that cost me $150 for 5 years. So in comparison to that, it's horrendously expensive. The cost of the license is $4, and the rest is tax. So work that one out.
Whoa.
So
it's mad.
Yeah. Plasma rightly says too that the US are going to start charging for license renewals in April, but that's just a one-off fee. That's not per year, is it? I don't believe.
I mean, I think it depends what your goals are. Like, if your goal is to just boost numbers, then cutting the cost will help for sure. But if your aim is to grow the quote unquote community and have active members, then you might find the price is slightly less of an issue. Like at that point, it's like, how can we show people that it's cool? How can we get them engaged? How can we show them all these different things they can pursue? And you know what I mean? Like, how can we truly engage them? Because if they're engaged, $50 a month that's a lot of money for some people. But for the quote unquote middle class, for a hobby, their hobbies are so much more expensive than $50 a year, so it kind of depends what the goals are. If you just want like vanity numbers, or if you want to gauge like ham populations.
Well, true. If you compare it to other things, like I pay sporting membership, sporting fees and things like to play soccer this year, it's cost me $380, which is really expensive, but I do it because I enjoy it. So, but $90 for the exam, $90 for the regulations. You only have to do the regulations once, so if you go to upgrade, you don't have to do that again. And the practical exam, which is done, included if you do it all on the same day. So, and then
we should also say we're talking Australian pesos. They're not USD, so it's $50 Australian dollars, not US dollars.
Yeah, so it's even so it ends up being like $60 US or something like that, or $50 US or $60 US or something like that.
Just talking about the $50 annual fee.
Yes. Yep.
So it's like $30.
And Chris has got the tax numbers as well. Yeah. Anyway, last thing that we wanted to discuss, because this is the thing with this show, it goes so quickly. We have so much fun and it goes so quickly. We haven't even danced yet.
That's good.
Someone has a... Is it? we don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but I also did a video on the top 5 things under $100, but I made some glaring omissions, which you are going to tell me what I missed out.
So what did you check? Yeah, that was a good. So you had your top 5 ham items under $100, right? And what was it? You had Adam's infield kit. You had a multimeter.
Yep.
You had
multimeter.
A bullfung, which makes it perfect sense.
I had a bullfung. That was number 1. Yep.
Yeah. And what else did you have? I
had an external antenna.
And a connector kit, a Bree and a connector kit,
and a Bree and a connector kit, and Nagoya antenna as well. So
yeah, gotcha.
One of the things. Oh, we need to pause for a minute because there it is, Lionel.
I wanted different music, but this will do.
Oh, I know what music you wanted.
I'm very particular.
That's all right. We'll just.
Thank you, Lionel.
You're a nugget.
That's all right. We'll just get another super chat, and then we'll be able to play the song that you want.
I don't know if you had $100 and you already had your radio, I would get them to just buy a big spool of wire. Buy a big spool of light gauge wire, man. So
what about
cheap.
a nano VNA?
Yeah, nano VNAs are great, but like if you're lucky, your radio's got an SWR meter in it already. You know,
so
for
big
$100,
spool of wire.
Big spool of wire. Get yourself, 50, like you can buy. Oh, that's perfect. That's what you need. Get one of those guys.
That's similar to the cable that you've got on your remote site.
Yeah, get two. I reckon buy a big spool of wire. You can in New Zealand for $5, you can buy 50 meters of 22 AWG wire. Awesome. Buy heaps of wire. You can play with your dipoles. You can build tons of antennas for fun.
Now, if there is anything that you do want to buy off Amazon, then there is an affiliate link in the description below that you can use, which helps support the channel. But there are some big spools of wire here that are underneath $100. Oh, look at this. I used to have one of these. I used to work at my work, a spool wire rack. Does it come with the wire? Does it come with the wire?
I doubt it. It never does. It never comes with the things in the photos.
Oh, come on. It's got to
The cake is a lie.
Oh, no, here it is. If you want the white, the different colored spools. This was fantastic. So what I would do is I would get 2 colors off of the spools, tie them together, put them in a drill, and then twist them together. And then you've got multicolored, multi-core cable. It was fantastic. So much fun.
I've got no idea what puffed means, Blazer.
The other stick clear of that.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, I would go big spool of wire. I think you've got to get yourself a soldering iron and some solder. Bit of coax, just basic coax. Bit of RG58, no problem. And some bellons. Get yourself a 49-to-1, 9-to-1, 1-to-1. And you can basically make every antenna, every wire antenna. And you've got a feed line for it, a soldering iron, you can burn yourself, you've got heaps of wire. You'll be a wire antenna master.
There must be a shortage on SDRs because I can't find the SDR model, the SDR dongle model that I've got on Amazon anywhere anymore, unless they've discontinued it. But yes, an RTO SDR dongle. What else would you suggest in the chat, or would you suggest, Chris?
Well, I think you definitely. I think the Baofeng was like for sure number 1. I don't think anyone can play with that. That's a winner.
Winner, chicken dinner. I've noticed
the UV5R, absolute winner.
I've noticed that UV5Rs are starting to, creep up in price just a little bit. But the UV S9s, which are basically the exact same thing, are still about $26. So you can always grab one of those too.
They look so fancy.
They do. So yeah, if you want to grab something, then check it out below. Now, the Abri. I've got the big one, the big one.
Mine's up here.
Yeah,
it's stuck in this crevice. God, it's so big. Look at the size of this thing. I haven't opened this in about a year. It's probably going to This thing's
spring
probably
out and
break
don't
instantly.
be careful. It might take an eye out.
Ah!
Oh, you've got the big one too.
Ah! The big dongle, the big bell end. There
We
she
might
is.
be able to. Do you reckon we can?
A brie to a brie. A brie bridge. Yes. Highlander. Ching. Perfect.
Just, oh no!
Oh,
Just-
you've
Use it like a lightsaber.
you've belted your knob. Anyway,
So
these
so
are
yeah, we're gonna
great if you like having hopeless antennas in the wind. They're fantastic.
So we're gonna do the rest of the show like this, right?
Yep, I think so.
And it's you know, oh no, it's always a problem when that happens.
Oh no, that was premature, Hayden.
Yeah, it was. Very good, very very good. Thank you very much. So Dusty says, is that 26 Aussie bucks? No, I was on Amazon.com, so that was US pricing. You okay there?
I'm fine.
Well, we didn't get your favorite song for the super chat. So let's just we'll finish on it and then we'll fade out from there, I think.
All right.
There it is. We're not really selling the Abri, are they, as sturdy antennas? The problem with the 40-inch ones is that they do fold over rather easy.
Oh.
I mean, they're great.
Well, they
great.
work well, but
They work really well, but they're not very sturdy.
yeah, they're good for ripping the top off your bow thing, you know.
I think if you want to use these, you need to over the joins, which will defeat the purpose of folding it up. But you do need to put some maybe some heavy duty heat shrink or something to stop it from folding over. The little 18-inch ones will be fine, but the 42 inches are a bit big. Yeah,
I would definitely go with something smaller, lads, if you're going to get one of these. I mean, these are great for parties, you know. You pull it out of the pub, bloody wing, bing, bang, bosh. Check this out, Jason. Like, they're good for that, but for practical...
Is that your party trick, is it?
Oh, yeah, just pull the Abri out. Is that in the Brie in your pocket? Or are you just unhappy to see me?
You're just happy to see me.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not an Abri.
That's a knife.
That's not an Abri. That's an Abri.
But yeah, if you actually want to use one, get a smaller one, eh?
Yeah, 100%.
It's just basic science, boys.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much, all 27 of you, for joining us again on the half hour of Kilowatt Power. We will be back next week if we get over 900 views.
901.
901 is what we want.
Or I'm going to ring your mum and I'm going to complain.
What, mine?
Everyone's. I got a lot of free minutes. I'll make it happen.
How many numbers have you got in your phone?
All of them. No,
you still got white pages? You still got white pages over there?
I'm sure it exists. I haven't seen one in a couple of decades.
Oh, well, there you go. And then you'll have everyone's number, and you can just ring around.
Yeah, exactly. So do it.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you hopefully next week. 73.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. See ya. I mean,
because we'll offend all the blokes on QRZ and on 80 meters, you know. Why can't I get this right?
Not great. To Google.
Oh no, bro.
What?